And take a look at the local dailies. Welcome back, and we take a look at the Star today. We start with this one, and yes, the President, Commander-in-Chief W.S. Ruto mwenyewe amevaa pale military fatigues. And niliona a lot of discussion online on whether they were just comparing the looks, different presidents who have worn. I think it's only President Mwai Kibaki who never, ever tried to wear military attire. Not the official attire, not the military fatigues. We've seen President Uhuru Kenyatta do that. We've seen President Daniel Moi, at least the official dress, the official military, the red and black. President Kenyatta, the first one, Jomo Kenyatta, also wore the official one. But in as far as military fatigues are concerned, the jungle dressing, it's President Uhuru Kenyatta loved this. Now William Ruto finally does it in his first term. I think Uhuru did it in his second term. I don't know, not so sure. Let me not commit myself. But yeah, how do you rate the look? How do you rate it out of 10?
Anakapoa. Out of 10, 10. I think 10.
10 out of 10?
10 out of 10.
Okay, not so bad.
Yeah,
Angebeba ile fimbo ya nini? Commander-in-Chief. Well, not so bad. Ruto dons military fatigues in honor of Kenya defenders. That's a story given prominence on the front page of the Star. But the story ambayo imepewa kipaumbele kabisa ni masuala ya siasa kule Mount Kenya. Rifts emerge as Gachagua battles for Mount Kenya grip. He's involved in a spat with the Kirinyaga governor, Anne Waiguru, as well as the Embu governor, Cecily Mbarire. Anang'ang'ana watu wanawaambia achana na kina mama. Alienda akasema hapa Kirinyaga. You know, there are women who came out on the road the other day. Wakasema Gachagua hawezi ingia Kirinyaga. Jana alikuwa Kirinyaga akasema hapa ni bedroom.
Naniambia nini?
But the question is, this is a growing list of rivals, which is exposing deep fissures in the region. And the question is Gachagua opening up too many war fronts for himself? Kumbuka hata within the united opposition, wana malumbano na Matiang'i, wanasema nini, usifanye nini, usiingie wapi. Sasa hata kule wanang'ang'ana na magavana. That's a story on pages 4 and 5. It is the main discussion there. We'll be looking at it with my analysts. The other story is what happened the previous day in State House. State House GSU officer died from bleeding after arrow pierced heart. Now the suspect there being led to the courts, and the victim who passed on after that arrow attack. Apparently they were friends. And we'll be seeing that in another paper. The other story there, of course, what happened in Parliament yesterday as the health CS Aiden Duale appeared before the Health Committee. MPs lay bare sharp flaws as CS Duale defense program. Waliambiana bwana wewe usinistue. You cannot intimidate me. And it reminds me a few years back. Kuna jamaa mwingine pia, there's a CS who appeared before Parliamentary Committee. And then one of the MPs there was shouting, "Are you threatening this committee? Are you threatening this committee?" So it keeps happening after a few years. Meanwhile, Ruto has appointed Eliud Owalo to lead new government office for efficiency. That story is on page 2. The Star, fresh, independent, different. Today it's not free. Lazima ukuwe na 60 bob. Ama 1,000 shillings ukiwa Tanzania.
So that's what Owalo does?
No, he was the deputy. He was deputy in charge.
Leading it.
Now, this is a different unit that is now leading.
All right.
That's the Star.
Sawa. The Standard. Bully in chief, Duale. Public spat. Tempers flared in Parliament as Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale clashed with members of Parliament during a stormy Health Committee session, trading insults and accusations of intimidation. Now, the dramatic exchange, which saw lawmakers walk out in protest, laid bare deep tensions over the troubled Social Health Authority, with members of Parliament accusing the minister of arrogance and contempt, while he dismissed them as junior members unfit to question him. Duale is one of a kind because I have attended parliamentary health committees, and I've never seen a cabinet secretary akiletanisha the parliamentary committee, either the way Duale did yesterday. Right now, this parliamentary committee is being led by my member of parliament, area member of parliament, James Nyikal. Na aliambiwa jana na Kibagendi, you're being intimidated by this man, Aiden Duale.
Do you think that accusation was valid?
I think it's valid because Robert Bukose, the former committee chair, I don't think he would have allowed that. You know, Bukose was alikuwa anawaambia, I am the one leading this, you're out of order, I will tell you to go out. That is if you're the cabinet secretary and unaongea above him.
Yeah.
So,
But you know the thing with Duale, he's been majority leader in the National Assembly. I think whenever he appears before MPs, it still feels like they're junior to him. Like I've been your leader. There's nothing you can tell me.
Yes.
Yeah, and I know parliamentary procedures better than you. After all, Kibagendi is in his first term. I don't really think it has anything to do with his position as health CS. It's only that he feels when he comes to parliament, I've been here for the longest. Mimi ni watoto, hakuna kitu mnaniambia. I know these things.
Wenda home. Na amesema, he said yesterday that akirudi Garissa, right now, watu wa Garissa watamrudisha tena kwa member of parliament.
And you know what? He's actually very right.
Well, Aden Duale, najua aliletanisha sana pia na Cynthia Muge. Akaambia Cynthia Muge, wewe ni ukama hapa. Don't talk to me like that.
And that thing of being newcomer, because I saw Kibagendi also attacked a few weeks back by the MP for Homa Bay Town, Peter Kaluma. Because Peter Kaluma was on his feet in parliament and trying to contribute, then Kibagendi tried interrupting and he was told, you're a first-time MP, you cannot block me, you cannot say anything, keep quiet, shut up.
You know, at least Kibagendi is active. Kibagendi is actually doing a very good job because he's asking questions that needs to be asked.
There's a lot of bullying even in parliament. Ile form 1.
Yeah.
At this is your first time here. Usiongewe ni fresher.
This public's part overshadowed the issues the minister was supposed to respond to, and Duale dismissed the leaders, telling one of them, that is Cynthia Muge to be specific, that she was too junior to question him in the manner she did. This story has been covered on page 6. Unaweza soma zaidi, it's a very interesting story here. He was being asked about the ambulance services and the underfunding that the vulnerable groups are currently receiving in Shah. Other quick headlines here. Our father has anger problems. That is, relatives described Kipthika Kimunyi as a troubled loner whose actions hinted at mental instability. Due to the interest of time, on the back page, who will be voted the track athlete of 2025? And this is between Beatrice Chebet, Faith Kipyegon, and Emmanuel Wanyonyi. They were nominated for track athletes of the year awards. That's the Standard this morning.
All right. From the Standard, we take a look at Taifa Leo. Habari ni ile drama bungeni. Duale asema mbunge anachemka kwa sababu za mgongano wa maslahi, ile inaitwa conflict of interest. Kibagendi adai waziri anafyonza umma. Uhasama kati ya waziri wa afya Aden Duale na mbunge wa Kitutu Chache Kusini Anthony Kibagendi ulijitokeza waziwazi Jumanne waliporushiana cheche za maneno wakilaumiana moja kwa moja bungeni. Kikao hicho kilitibuka baada ya naibu mwenyekiti wa kamati pamoja na wanachama kuondoka. The question is, because we have a lot of questions with regard to Shah, and the only person who can answer is a CS. Our representatives in parliament are the MPs who are supposed to question him, because we have no other way of questioning the CS. But when such a session fails to go through, then questions remain unanswered. Inamaanisha zile swali tuko nayo, yale maswali tuko nayo kuhusu Shah hayatajibiwa. Sasa nani ana benefit hapa? Pengine ni CS. Sababu hajajibu maswali na ameenda. Si mmekasirika?
Lembo, wewe you're a thief. Uliona mnaniambia you're a thief.
Ndio habari kuu pale kwenye ukurasa wa mbele wa Taifa Leo. Kwingineko, vidokezo zaidi na sira kosolewa kuhusu tamasha. Waandalizi wa tamasha wataka kaunti sijitenge na sherehe hizo. Ni ile sherehe ilikuwa pale Chuda, ambapo it turned tragic. One of the boats capsized, leading to the death of at least 3 people. And then the county government was quick to say, hey, in fact, we were not there. In fact, even my deputy was invited, but he did not show up. Yet, previously, they've been part of that festival. Mbona unaruka sana hivyo? Futi 200. Yeah. Kule Cameroon, mpinzani wa Bia ajitaja mshindi. Mgombeaji urais wa upinzani Isa Chiroma ajitangaza mshindi wa uchaguzi kule Cameroon. Paul Biya pia anawania urais. Yeye ndio current president at 91. Anasema anafaa kuendelea 92. Alafu hata hawezi show up for campaigns, wanatumia some zinaitwaje effigies. Pale juu watahiniwa wa 400 retain kusalia nje. Mahakama Kuu yakataa kuamuru mkuu wa shule kuwarudisha shuleni. Wale watakosa kufanya exam. Na Cape Verde wafuzu kwa FIFA 2026. Meanwhile, sisi tuliondoka kitambo. Lakini jana tulizabwa mabao 3-0 na Ivory Coast. Gazeti la Taifa Leo.
Daily Nation, killer linked to State House. Twist, tragic end to unusual friendship forged at President's residence. Now, slain GSU officer Ramadan Matanka was the son of a former State House employee. He first worked at the state residence after completing high school in 2019 during a cleanup campaign where he met and befriended Kithuka Kimunyi. Later, he joined the elite squad, getting the premises where his life was cut short. This story has been covered on page 4 and 5. Kimunyi has been denied a bond and he is currently, what is it called? Amefungwa kwa sasa, ako under police custody still. Commander-in-Chief Ruto outlines plan to modernize KDF and President pledges new military bases, upgrade of equipment and addressing soldiers' welfare to boost war on cybercrime and terrorism. Other quick headlines here. Most popular senior school pathway. KJSE inaanza officially on 27th of October, just in 2 weeks' time. They're already selecting the pathways to the senior school. 3 pathways: STEM, social sciences, and arts and sports. On the back page, that story about the awards. Kipyegon Chebet Stella Season demands Athlete of the Year title. And they say they have been nominated for the Track Athletes of the Year awards. That's the Daily Nation this morning.
All right, from the Daily Nation to People Daily, inside Ruto's attempt to win the 2027 election, and they break down the president's playbook. State House outreach, Mount Kenya focus, regional balancing development as politics, Somali vote block. They just look at the different things that the president is doing, which clearly are part of his plan to, as he seeks re-election come 2027. The latest, of course, bringing together what is termed as the dynasty. The dynasty 3. Him becomes 4. Kenyatta, Odinga, Moi, now Ruto. You know, actually, those are the families that have run Kenya. Kenyatta, twice. Moi. Okay, Odinga has never run Kenya. How come Kibaki wameachwa nje? Kibaki waja qualify kuwa dynasty. Aite Jimmy Kibaki, wapate dynasty proper. Yeah, that's a president's playbook, and that story is on page 4 of this paper. The only other story features, the highlight features on the top, at the bottom strip, from love words to harsh words, Gachagua's big shift. There's a big discussion. Rigathi Gachagua has always, the former deputy president, has always been accused of being very abrasive in his politics. And that appears to be rubbing very many people the wrong way. Many people cannot stay too long with him. After a while, wanasema hapana, ule jamaa tunashindwa, tunajaribu tunashindwa. Ule ana ukali mwingi, tunashindwa tu. Alisema jana Kirinyaga ni bedroom. That's the People Daily.
Finally, Business Daily. KQ faces cash penalties for traveler flight delays. And a regional competition watchdog wants airlines operating within the common market for Eastern and Southern Africa, that is COMESA, to compensate passengers with cash payouts of up to 77,540 shillings for flight cancellations and delays amid a surge in travelers' complaints at Kenya Airways. Kenya Airways watu wamecomplain sana about KQ. That story is on page 2. And NCBA shares hit all-time high on Standard Bank buyout offer. Another story on page 2. On the ticker, Kenyan passport drops 6 places on lack of visa waivers. Court allows CMA, that is the Capital Market Authority, to investigate 8 Kakuzi directors. And finally, CBK increases gold holdings by 40.8%. That's the Business Daily.
All right. Just a reminder that I will be having these 4 individuals in studio to discuss the headlines today. Kevin Osido, who is a governance specialist. Justina Omai, champion for economic democracy. Mbogwa Mombi, who is a leadership consultant. And Mesha Kodede, a political commentator. In a few minutes' time, do stand by for that. Just a reminder, at 8 a.m. we'll switch conversations and talk about matters peer power, mentorship for mental wellness. Do stand by for that conversation as well. Tuangalie Karakacha sasa.